welcome to the official after show of Outsiders on WGN America.
Ryan Hurst, everybody!
I nailed it!
There's a future for this guy.
Unbelievable. No prompter, no nothing. Ryan, first, welcome to the show.
Thank you very
Obviously, we're all huge fans of yours. We're huge fans of Lil Foster.
Oh, thanks, man.
We are huge fans of basically what is happening with him this season. It's been a real roller coaster of emotion. He's been in a glass case of emotion, if you will. Some bars of emotion.
And he's been in a skin-filled teepee.
Yeah, there you go.
Emotion. That's what it was.
That's the name of my other memoir.
Apparently, you're running the bunny ranch of Shea Mountain, which is awesome.
Just a bit.
So take us through basically your journey so far of season 2 and how you're feeling about where you are right now.
Yeah, you know, I think Little Foster, being this character who's kind of under the thumb of, you know, Big Foster, one of the things that that Peter Mattei and Peter Toland and I really sort of crafted was trying to find a way for the character to be isolated in a way that he could become his own human being, you know. And so, what better place to find yourself than in prison?
Brett has talked about it many a time on the show that there's no place like a coming-of-age story in prison.
It is true. It is true.
Yeah. And so now that you're back on the mountain, we've obviously seen your turmoil with Gwen. We've seen it with obviously Big Foster.
Yeah.
We've seen it with your harem of now ladies.
Yes. Harem of Now Ladies.
Yeah.
Another title for a memoir.
Yeah, there you go.
So many books today.
So you burned down the teepee of love.
Yeah.
Was that a symbolic move for you, or was that just you're moving on, you're putting on your cloak of destiny, and you're going out there on your journey?
Yeah, originally the character, he was supposed to be away from the clan a lot longer and a lot further away, but we kind of truncated that a bit. But funny thing about when we set that thing on fire, it was right here. And I remember while we were doing it, you know,
a lot of extensions here too.
Oh yeah, no, man. So they're putting all of this kerosene on, and I'm sitting there talking to the director, kind of watching out of the corner of my eye, going like, this thing's gonna go up really fast. And it was literally like, I tossed it in there and I heard the pyro guy go, run, run, run. And I was like, okay, that's the best acting of my entire life, was just turning around and very coolly kind of like walking away with the girl. I was like,
like lighting fireworks as a kid.
Yeah.
Light the wick and then dive behind a pile.
Right.
Yeah, Smokey the Bear was not happy with that fire.
That's awesome. I was wondering if you actually lit that on fire because it was huge.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, that's in the middle of the forest.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, they get a lot more rain, obviously,
no,
up
they
there
do.
in Shea
It's
Mountain, because if
Pittsburgh.
we're doing
Yeah,
that in
sure.
Southern California here where we are.
The whole 90 miles just done.
Local
No more Shea Mountain.
Local Farrell man lights an entire forest on fire. This episode, I guess, you know, there's a huge reveal there for Lil Foster at the end. But last week, you had that moment with Gwen saying, our battle is almost over. You know, are you going on like a vision quest? Where was your head going as you lit that teepee on fire?
Was essentially, you know, as an actor, I was always trying to find the reason why Little Foster would even like any of these people.
Right.
You know, I mean, his wife-to-be married his father. You know, his father was always could, you know, just spit upon this guy. And so it was always one of those things that we tried to instill in the character and also in the audience was this very visceral, like, would this guy just fucking kick somebody's ass finally? Right. You know, and so it's been a slow burn to really bring out the you know, to sort of poking the tiger in the cage.
Yeah.
So
literally.
is the idea was he's just sort of washing his hands of his family and everything that he knows. But when he, you know, finds out about Gwen, it sort of changes everything.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. Was he? Because it seems like on the outside, and judging by the action in the teepee,
Yeah.
he had moved on from Gwen.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you think like in his mind at that point he was done with Gwen, and maybe now the baby brings him back?
Yeah, I think that's what it is he has to kind of, whether he decides to really kind of be an absentee father or not is kind of like
That was his example.
See?
That was his example.
That's right.
You're going to go to the sex teepee on the other Saturday.
That's allowed up on the mountain. Well, I got a question for you. So now that you had this, last week, I was like, wow, he's living it up. He's in the, he's in the
Spring
Bunny
break, Shea
Ranch,
Mountain.
Spring Break, Shea Mountain. Now you find out at the end of the, the episode that you were going to be a father. Do you think Little Foster, is he going to come back down? And would he, if need be, take that stick and be the Brennan?
We think he'd be the best Brennan.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been talking about it.
We're
the
all
whole
Team
time.
Lo Foster.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have T-shirts if you want to see them.
No, that's all right. No, I think if he ever takes it, it would be only if he had to. I would say that Little Foster's probably the only sort of, I've always said he's the only sort of true-hearted one really on the show, with the exception of Hassel and Sally Ann. That everybody else up on the mountain seems to have some type of agenda.
Yeah, they have their own agendas.
And Little really doesn't. He's kind of looking out for everybody, for himself included, but he has real sort of simple aspirations that he wants to have a family and he wants to be happy.
And then a follow-up question. I mean, we've been seeing in the previews, man, you riding this big badass hog.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that real quick? Because I ride a Harley, so I
Yeah.
get excited when I see you out there in a Harley.
Yeah.
Cruising through the mountains.
Right.
Yeah, no, they called me up and they were like, "You're gonna ride a motorcycle." I was like, "Are we really gonna do this?" You're just like beating people's like Sons of Anarchy, you're just like, "Oh, we're gonna put him in the prison." Oh, great. So when they said, "Oh, it's just gonna be a regular bike," I was like, "Look, I'm not gonna ride just a regular bike."
Right.
And I said, "Did you ever see Raising Arizona? You see that guy's bike?" I said, "Take that and go watch the newest Mad Max and come back to me with something that's kick-ass." And they did. And they came back with a great bike.
That's quite the request.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, given that you felt that Little Foster has, simple and wants to be, a family man and things like that, but he's gone to prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he killed a man.
Yeah.
So do you think, he might have changed and want to get out there and be a little bit fiery?
Yeah, I think so. I think it probably changed. It's like, it's one of those things. Is the fact, I think it probably scares him a lot that when he killed this guy, that he probably saw his father in him.
Yeah.
Who did that. Could do that thing very, very, very easily. And I don't think that Little Foster has had much experience of being his father's son in that way. And so I think he's a little scared of the damage that he can do.
He has those capabilities.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Going
have
full Roadhouse.
Full Roadhouse. There we go. There's our Roadhouse reference for the show. I got a question on Twitter from Matt Alling, who wanted to know that was there something specific or someone specific that kind of inspired Little Foster?
No, not so much. The only thing that that sort of changed from the original intent of the character was originally the character had a stutter. In the first couple episodes, he had a stutter, and we decided it was just a little bit too wearing on the audience to have sort of a lead character that was stuttering the entire time. But I felt like that was, you felt it in his presence that he had that sort of vulnerability to him, but it wasn't really based on much of anybody. The one reason why I really sort of gravitated to the role was more because it was opposite David. They'd brought me the script real early on, and I turned it down because I didn't really see much value in the Little Foster character, because originally it was written even much more of an ensemble character, and I was just kind of like, I'm sure that somebody else could do a better job at this. But then when they said David's part of it, I was like, I'll do it.
How good is, let's talk about that. How good is David Morris on
He's
the
phenomenal.
show? He should be, I think he should be nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah. What about?
You're sitting,
You said that with David Morris is on the show.
I've seen the Emmy nomination rule book. It says if you go full Roadhouse, you get an Emmy nomination.
That's why. Yes.
This we all know.
Well, I just didn't
So
want
originally in that, we were crafting that fight. It was one of those last minute kind of things. And I know some old, I've been in this business for a minute and I do lots of fights. So it was like, I turned to the special effects guy. I was like, get me a condom full of blood. And they were like, What? You're like the guy who's just like, hey, don't, no questions, get me a condom full of blood. So we had a condom full of blood and a turkey neck in there, and originally that's what you would see from behind his head.
Awesome.
But it seemed
It
to
was a
prove
little
a
too
little
much.
bit too much to get past all the network stuff. So.
5 naked women in a teepee, but one roadhouse turkey neck grab.
Neck.
The prop guy's like, this actor's crazy.
And I'm taking notes for next year's April Fool's. So there's turkey neck and condom blood. Got it. All right.
I like that you explained that it was David Morse that really got you into it. I would love to know, sort of from the beginning, when you did take it on, what it was like in the beginning for you with Lil Foster. I know that you had a lot of say, and the whole cast everyone's been saying that they're all very collaborative.
Yeah.
Take us through what that's like.
Well, Peter Mattei, the thing that he created in that original pilot, it flew around Hollywood because it was so brilliant. It was so great and so totally unique. So when all of us showed up, it was a bit of like really kind of first day at school. It's not like showing up for a sitcom where you're like, oh, I guess I'm going to wear jeans and regular thing, and it's like, so we're shooting where the set looks like what, and when when we went up onto Shea Mountain, it was better than Disneyland. It was just so beautifully crafted. And, I really still give it to Peter Mattei for having this vision, like a singular vision that was inspiring to everybody, that everybody showed up with ideas of like, well, what if we do this? What if we do that? And he would kind of say yes, no, but he allowed that, collaboration, and it really flourished, with regards to like the tattoos and stuff like that. It was sort of an afterthought. It was like, yeah, I guess they have tattoos as well. And I was just like, well, I'm a tattoo like aficionado. So like, let me get in there and help make this a part of the production design of the entire thing. Trying to make it like, and have a sort of system to the tattoos, that it's not just something, that they happen to put on their bodies. Because like, you can change somebody's hair, you can change their makeup, you can change what they wear, but if you're gonna have a show that goes for 7 years, and they have tattoos, that stuff has to have some thought into it. So we came up with this idea of like, maybe whatever's on their back is gonna be some sort of spiritual representation. Whatever's on their chest is their sort of relationship to their family, whether they have a loved one or not, whether they're married or not. Anything that's on their arms or their fingers is more sort of like apprenticeship of like things that you can do to work, So, and it's kind of like merit badges, And so there was, and he was like, that's great, let's do it. So, we've all had a blast kind of like pouring ourselves into that stuff.
On that note, how much do they give you as far as like filling in the blanks as far as backstory goes? So like you and Gwen's relationship on the show, he's obviously lost a baby, that kind of thing. How much do they tell you this is what happened? How much are they like, just give you some kind of guidance to figure out on your own?
Is they don't give us a lot. And the fact that Gwen and Little have lost a baby, that was something that I came up with, actually. Is in the first couple episodes, it was really hard to see, I knew where they were going to take the relationship, and I wanted them to have something really sort of depressing, something that really kept, like, why haven't they gotten married?
It haunts them in a sense. Yeah.
So I came up, as that I approached Mattei and I said, look, I think that there should be something that's sort of, some sort of arrested development of their relationship. So let's put this, that they've lost a child. And it became this nice little stepping stone that, made its way into this season.
Sure.
Like really remarkably so.
Okay. Wow. And you can see that look on your face, too, when there's another baby.
Yeah.
So you were talking about the tattoos.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's something going on. We're going to do a sweepstakes.
Yeah.
All the fans need to watch the finale of Outsiders because
Ryan Hurst is going to design a tattoo. And I'll put it on you. I'll put it on you.
Now, do the actual tattoo.
I might.
Oh, wow.
If they'll let me.
Holy cow.
Where were you 20 years ago when I needed you?
Only on your face. I'm going to design a tattoo of your face on your face.
Mike Tyson,
It's actually the full scene. It's a frame-by-frame scene of Roadhouse. Frame by frame against when you Roadhouse. I've seen it. It's amazing.
On
You're
your
gonna do
face.
it. I love it.
On your face.
We've got a couple questions from some fans.
Go for it.
At Terry Hurd on Twitter, if you could trade places with any other cast member for the day, who would it be and why?
Such a good one.
Celia. She gets to wear a nice little flowy dress, doesn't have to say much.
That's an easy day on set.
I really thought about this.
Okay, I was going to say, that is right there. And Rachel White says, what was your reaction when you found out another one of your characters was going to prison again?
It must be some past life stuff that I'm working out. But I actually like prisons. I like prison films too. Yeah. Whether it's Papillon or Shawshank or
penitentiary.
Any penitentiaries. But it's like any sort of institutional stuff. I like the genre. Whether it's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I like that kind of like, microcosm.
All right, so Kathy Keekle asks, would you ever be able to live the way Little Foster and the clan do? Off the grid, self-sufficient for the most part, harsh laws of the land, yet a fair and wise ruler.
Oh, Kathy Keekle.
God!
Kathy Keekle the Keekle.
With her long-winded, glorious questions. Yes.
I would say that I could, with the one caveat that it wouldn't have to be with all of my family forever. I think that...
If your mom is watching right now, it doesn't mean you, Mom.
Mom, I didn't mean it. No, but I think that a lot of people would say, like, yeah, I could rough it, but with your everyone, like a city of people, like all of your extended family, that's a bit much.
Yeah, it's basically like Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it wouldn't be nature that would kill you, it's your relatives.
Yeah, what do they say in Oklahoma, Chris?
They say guest, fish, and in-laws start to stink after 3 days.
There you
There you go.
And fish, man, don't eat that old sushi, right, Chris?
Don't do it.
Don't eat sushi in Oklahoma, period.
Yeah.
Landlocked state, dude. Landlocked state. Yeah.
Here's your memoir title.
Don't eat fish in Oklahoma.
Well, we haven't been here 72 hours, Ryan, but you've been an amazing guest.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Oh,
being
I'm
here.
not going anywhere.
You're going to stay here?
Yes!
Yeah, kicking me out. Wow.
That is a true Brennan. Leading by example.
Yeah.
All the other cast members just bolted.
I thought I was like sort of I'm not the Brennan?
No.
Cool.
Sorry, no. You're like the Crake.
Yeah, I'm the Yeah, I could see that. Making the booze, getting all messed up.
It was a great episode.
Yes. Incredible.
Yep.
First of all, let's talk about Hassel, Sassel, Sally Ann. First of all, we finally get her saying, I love you.
Yes.
Because nothing says I love you like a bloody kiss from a man in a fight.
That's I love you.
Oh, no.
Rocky taught us that. Rocky taught us that. Yeah.
Now, what I've been wanting to ask you, Ryan, is if there was a fight club up on Shea Mountain, who wins, you or Hassel?
Oh, mere Hassel. I don't know about that. He's wily. He's like a spider monkey. He can.
Spider monkey.
Yeah.
We call him the Mountain Ninja.
But I do have to tell you, he was so happy. Whenever he was training, he would send me these videos. He's like, look, I'm fighting. I'm so happy. I'm fighting. And I was like, all right, man.
He does that climb move real well.
So good.
Yeah.
So it was so funny that you bring this up. Before we shot the first frame of film, I get these, you call me weird, but I get these little premonitions sometimes, and I met him, and it was like dead zone. I was like, huh. I shook his hand, and I was like, I see you climbing up somebody and punching them in the head. And he was like, nice to meet you, I'm Kyle. I was like, so when it happened, I was like, oh, boom, there you go.
Then did you follow it up with, give me a condom filled with blood?
Awesome stuff. What do we think right now about the Sassel relationship? Is it getting stronger?
I am loving Sally Ann right now. Like I already, before I even saw the preview for next week, I already knew, she's about to be a manager. She didn't have a job, so now she's like, I'm gonna handle his money.
You saw the manager last episode coming in.
I see her being her manager.
Oh, got it.
She saw the writing on the wall.
Yes, she was gonna be the manager over Hassel and make it work out.
But Butch has been doing such a good job.
No.
Butch has been patting his dough.
Really excited for the Sally Ann Frida throwdown that's going to happen. Because once Sally Ann interrupts Butch's work, it's going to get ugly. Because I love Frida. She's amazing.
She is, but Sally Ann is going to put
She's pregnant.
The love's strong.
The love is strong.
It's nice to see that Sally Ann, she's, instead of being just stubborn, like your wife and my wife are. Your wife to
I'm
me.
not married yet.
My wife's not stubborn.
But it's nice to see that's really there's love there. That's
for sure.
It can only go up.
Like Ryan was saying, like Little Foster and Hassel or Sassel, they're kind of the moral centers of this show in some ways, right?
Yeah, but I agree with you guys. It's like I love seeing Sally Ann's character really take that first, okay, look, like is I'm going to handle business. They there was so much squabbling between them, and that now that there's sort of a child in the mix, is that I like seeing that strength of her character really coming through.
Totally. Long time ago, like maybe when the Fight Club first started happening, everybody was like, "That's going to be his job. Someone's going to promote him. He's going to be a like underground UFC fighter."
Yep.
He might actually start going in that direction now.
Yeah.
I love it. Some legit
I like
fighting.
that.
Season 3.
I wouldn't
You
say
don't
no.
All right, let's get into our boy Wade Houghton, sheriff to end all sheriffs.
Yes.
Mac Daddy Wayne.
First time in the entire series that we have seen the man smile and laugh.
Yeah.
And he has the line of the year, the line of the season thus far. What wine do you want, yellow or red?
Mac Daddy Wade. That was his game.
He is
That was
crushing
his
it.
game.
Yeah.
But
I'm getting nervous because he's getting comfortable. He's having beer. He's drinking again. That's all right. I can drink again. Now give me the champagne.
Yeah.
And you and I both are on the same page. I don't know about everybody else. I don't know about Ryan, but I don't trust that girl.
do not.
There's something. There's something. The eyebrow.
I didn't say. I just made. I was just mooing.
Acknowledge.
There's something wrong with that girl.
There's not something wrong with
Wow.
her. She's
being paid.
Listen, I have been played at a Vegas club before, dancing with a girl, and then she's like, for the next 10 minutes, it's $500. Like, you got me, son of a bitch, right? That's what I think. I'm telling you.
What kind of club was
makes
that?
me so
What kind of club was
sad.
Is
that?
this before that you got engaged?
Guys, everybody, just
Does
leave me
it
alone
rhyme
for a second.
Does it rhyme with lazy Morse?
Yes. Well, we know Matt Myers paid this girl, right?
I don't know. That makes me so sad. I didn't even think about that one. I was just so happy that Wade was getting laid. I was so happy. I was like,
He tried his best not to.
My ladies are happy that
How
Wade is
funny
happy.
was
We
that?
wanted him to be in a relationship.
Thomas, right? He's like, okay.
He is so. I love Thomas so much. He is so brilliant.
So good
My
to watch.
favorite. I say it to him whenever I'm walking by. That line that he had to the older woman in the first season. Oh my God! You bitch! You stupid dumb bitch! You bitch. He's so organic and it's so beautiful. I love that. I'm a huge fan of that guy.
Yeah, again, on this show we talk about him all the time.
Yeah.
How much we love Sheriff Wade Houghton because he's the everyman's man. You know what I mean? He's just like they beat him down. Like, come on, I told you, idiot. All right, let's get into the meat of the episode.
Yeah.
We got Haley Grimes up there on the mountain.
Yeah.
They put her in chains.
Yeah.
They almost forced the water on her. We talked about it last episode. We didn't think that she was the main mind behind this because I think deep down Haley Grimes is a good person. Yeah. She's drinking that sweet, sweet Farrell wine, having that trip. Now, my first impression of Haley when she was tripping was that she was going to become a Farrell. Like, she was going to realize that life on the mountain was better. She's seeing it. She's that smile on her face as they're baking the bread, as they're washing the clothes. Life is simple up there. What did you guys all think of Haley Grimes' journey through this episode, Nicole?
I love. You guys know I've always loved Haley Grimes.
Yes.
She's amazing. Francie Swift is fantastic, but I really liked that through her journey, we got to see part of the mountain and the Farrell clan that we've never seen before. The school, the organization, and I'll be damned, I had the same exact reaction. I was like, oh, I didn't know the Farrells were so organized. And the minute she said it, I was like, oh my God, I'm Haley Grimes. Oh my God, I'm Haley Grimes. But I love her. And I was really, and you could see that when she saw that the little boy died, who's the same age as her son, it killed her. And it was such a beautiful moment for her to have that, and getting slapped by the mom was just really well done.
Fun fact. Yeah. That's my wife.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. The woman who loses the child, that's my wife.
No!
That's incredible. She crushed it.
She did.
So
Dude.
good.
That was very good.
Did she have fun slapping Francie Swift?
And I wasn't there while they were shooting because we have a bunch of dogs, and I was taking care of the dogs back at home. And I come back the next day, and they're like, "Your wife's a badass." I was like, "I know."
I've been slapping.
She was rehearsing.
I was wrong because I thought when we were talking last week, I said, you know what, she's going to get off the mountain and she's going to be Haley Grimes again. But no, I will eat my words. But I did like the scene. It was like out of Frankenstein when she's in the box and they're all coming up with the torches, like they were going to burn the castle down in the monster. But they did burn the monster down. She has changed.
I loved that she got her taste of Farrell life.
Yeah.
Because now she has that ability to go back and say, listen, we're doing something wrong here. This isn't exactly what we're supposed to do. And obviously we saw in the teaser, Farrells are coming into town. And one thing I noticed in this show this episode that I never noticed before is they called her an outsider. Yeah. Right?
That's the beauty of the show, though, is that everyone's kind of outsiders. You know, I mean, it's individually as groups. I mean, that's what's so genius about it, is that they turn everyone into outsiders, or maybe they just say that everyone in society are outsiders. And that's the smartest thing I've ever said. I'm gonna get out of here.
You better walk off now. That's drop the mic.
Showmanship, George. Showmanship.
Go out on top.
We had, obviously, Gwen, the baby, the final scene, we were talking about it with you. The final scene with you, obviously our final scene with Gordon, him getting sucked in. He's been running schemes all over.
Kidnapped.
That gubernatorial Fiat has a taser and an Escalade.
We saw that, that they're going to bring little Foster back. Gwen is pregnant. She's saying it's her baby, it's her baby. Yeah. That's got to be tough for any man that she's carrying. Obviously, she says it's not Ace's, that we don't know positively. It can't be Big Foster's, as he said. So it's,
It could be triplets. It could be, you don't know. You don't know, lady. You don't know.
Reality show
there was a different night in
she
the
might give birth to wolves. You never know with this show, man.
So true. The wolf babies, as we like to call them.
No, I would like you, because they teased next week's episode, which looks awesome, and it showed them marching into town, but I did not see little Foster.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about what's going to happen with little Foster?
I can't tell you nothing.
Yeah, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Yeah, I should have quit when I was ahead.
Yeah, you should have walked out already.
All right, let's go to our final social media question. This comes from Mara J. Zeidman, who says, do you think Big and Haley will have a fling? She's wondering if Big and Haley will have a fling.
Badass.
She got pushed up the mountain by him, got her butt kicked, but a little Stockholm syndrome up there on Shea Mountain. What do we think?
She likes a strong man.
I was just about to say that. I'm like, Haley likes to get down. Like she likes to be,
she likes dirty because she's been with Gordon.
And she likes the combativeness of a relationship. So
she wants a man to take charge.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we're wondering, is there a hotel bar up on Shea Mountain? Her and Big can get together. He's got a slow jams mixtape of fiddle music and some flute.
Mountain Merlot.
Mountain Merlot.
Merlot.
Yeah, she does. A glass of Merlot, some Farrell wine.
She might be able to tame him.
She might be able to tame him.
Might be able to tame the big man.
We saw Haley Grimes with a heart of gold. We saw Little Foster burn down a sex teepee. That'll do it for us here on an amazing episode. Outsiders on WGN America. You're at the official after show, guys. I'm Josh Macuga, Nicole Sterling, Chris Underwood, Tiffany Commons, Brett Wagner, Ryan Hurst. Here Ryan Hurst, the legend, Little Foster. Brett, you have one job. Take it away.
All right, Farrell fans, follow the show at Outsiders WGN on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you want to go see the big bosses, the big cheese, El Jefe, go to WGNAmerica.com. And we're going to be here next week. So you got to come back. And if you don't, this man's going to come to your house. He's going to raid your fridge. He's going to take your animals. We'll see you next week. Get ya.